Travel Tales 4U presents the story of Gruber family's idyllic life took a terrifying turn. What happens when a peaceful life in a quiet village turns into a horrifying nightmare overnight? This is the unsettling narrative of the HINTERKAIFECK, an enigma that resonates even after a century. In the bucolic setting of HINTERKAIFECK, a small German village, the tranquility of the Gruber family was tragically disrupted in 1922. Andreas Gruber, his spouse, their offspring, and the grandchildren led a simple, picturesque life on their remote farm. However, this tranquility proved to be ephemeral. In the days leading up to the gruesome murders, the family reported unsettling happenings. Unexplained noises echoed in the loft, resembling footfalls of an unseen presence. Articles about the family found scattered across their property added to the growing apprehension. Enigmatic tracks in the frosty snow led from the forest's edge directly to their quaint home, amplifying the sense of impending doom. The tension escalated with each passing day until it reached a chilling crescendo. What transpires when a peaceful existence is shattered overnight, turning into a ghastly nightmare? This is the spine-chilling story of the HINTERKAIFECK murders, a mystery that has stood the test of time and remains unsolved even after 100 years. The sense of unease grew more palpable with each passing day. On the evening of March 31st, the household's dutiful maid, enveloped in an indescribable feeling of fear and unease, made an unprecedented request to vacate the premises of the farm. This homely farm, which was usually filled with the sounds of life, now echoed with an eerie silence that caused chills down her spine. She could feel an unnatural chill in the air, making her shudder with an intense dread that she couldn't quite put into words. Andreas Gruber, the stout and hard-working patriarch of the family, who was known for his unwavering composure, was surprisingly understanding. With his trusty flashlight casting long, spectral shadows, he decided to accompany the terrified maid. They ventured into the inky blackness of the night, crunching gravel beneath their boots as they journeyed to the neighboring village. Their journey was fraught with an uneasy silence, the only sounds being the intermittent hooting of a distant owl and the rustling leaves carried by the cold, foreboding wind. Upon reaching their destination, the maid, visibly shaken, bid farewell to her gaze lingering on the dark outline of the farm in the distance. After ensuring her safe arrival, Gruber decided to return home. The long walk back to the farm was solitary, lit only by the feeble glow of his flashlight. As he advanced back home, he was completely oblivious to the fact that they were not alone that night. Unbeknownst to them, a malevolent presence was quietly observing from the shadows. The following morning, alarm bells echoed eerily throughout the tranquil village as the parishioners realized the conspicuous absence of the Gruber family at Sunday morning mass. It wasn't like them to miss. This family, usually so punctual and loyal to their faith, was nowhere to be found. As whispers of worry rustled through the crowd, a small group of concerned neighbors decided to investigate. Fear made their steps heavy as they trudged through the dew-laden path leading to the Gruber farmstead. The foreboding silence of the usually lively homestead was palpable, a stark contrast to the chirping birds and the murmuring brook nearby. The farmstead, once a symbol of warmth and laughter, now stood eerily silent. As they approached the farmhouse, a chilling sense of dread hung heavily in the air. They gingerly pushed open the creaking front door, their hearts pounding in their chests. What they discovered within those weathered wooden walls was a scene of unimaginable, blood-curdling horror. The Grubers and their maid lay sprawled on the floor in the foyer, their bodies bearing the gruesome evidence of a brutal slaughter. A pickaxe, the tool of this inexplicably monstrous act, lay ominously nearby. The scene was haunting, a morbid tableau frozen in time. Each detail etched in the room suggested an act of brutal, merciless killing, leaving onlookers frozen with shock and horror. The killer, or possibly killers, had vanished into thin air, leaving no clue or trace of their identity behind, just the cold dread of a mystery that would haunt the village for decades to come. The killer, or killers, had disappeared, leaving no trace behind. The identity of the perpetrator remains shrouded in mystery, rendering the HINTERKAIFECK murders one of Germany's most chilling unsolved cases. This gruesome event has become an iconic symbol of the nation's unsolved mysteries. The intrigue lies not only in the unresolved identity of the assailant, but also in the bizarre series of events that preceded the crime. Peculiar happenings, strange noises, and unexplained occurrences had set a disturbing undertone for the days leading up to the murders. The brutal acts carried out in this case were of a chilling precision that suggested a calculated intention than a random act of savagery. Each member of the family was carefully and ruthlessly targeted, their lives extinguished in cold blood. The cold, unfeeling manner in which the murders were executed suggested the workings of a deranged mind, adding to the case's horror. The grim details of the HINTERKAIFECK murders have long captivated true crime enthusiasts, researchers, and investigators. The unresolved nature of the case, coupled with the gruesome details of the crime, has ensured its place in the annals of the most horrifying and intriguing crime stories. Each new theory, each new investigation into the case only seems to deepen the mystery and add to the aura of terror that surrounds it. The eerie circumstances surrounding the crime, from the inexplicable events that preface the tragedy to the brutal execution of the murders, continue to fascinate true crime enthusiasts and perpetuate a haunting legacy. The HINTERKAIFECK murders serve as a stark reminder that sometimes the most terrifying stories are not those of the supernatural, but those that occur in the realm of the living. Nestled in the heart of Germany lies the peaceful village of HINTERKAIFECK, a place once brimming with life and laughter, now tainted by a gruesome past. As the sun begins to set, casting long, deep shadows across the landscape, a sense of eerie calm descends, painting a stark contrast to the horror that once took place here. The farmstead of the ill-fated Gruber family lies abandoned, standing as monument to the brutality of the crime that shook the village to its core. The once lively halls, now silent and hollow, echo with the whispers of a forgotten tragedy. Amid the quiet calm, one can't help but be gripped by a chilling sense of unease, a disturbing notion that perhaps the horror that took place here was not an isolated incident, but a manifestation of an unspoken evil lurking beneath the surface. Who could have committed such heinous act? What could have possibly driven someone to perpetrate such unspeakable violence? Questions that continue to haunt the village, continuing to echo in the dark corners of every resident's mind. The thoughts and theories are endless, yet the answers are nowhere to be found. As each day ends, the village is left with nothing but the lingering memory of a terror that once was. These questions remain, echoing in the silent halls of the Gruber's abandoned farmstead, a chilling testament to a nightmare that unfolded in this quiet corner of the world. This video is sponsored by our channel partner Soulful Collections, your one-stop online gift shop. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and drop a comment letting us know you're part of the community.